Got some like 007 vibes in it. I like that.
Yeah, my dad did a good job on the guitar for this one. Yeah, the back end of this has like a cool little dubstep part in it.
For all the feel-good people out there, we are Dust Off the Mic. Oh, that one hit right at the right time. What do you say, Jay?
All my pubes are standing up, Daddy-o.
Dust Off the Mic, Dust Off the Mic. Dust Off the Mic podcast.
No, that's not part of the crimes that I committed. I got a Bigfoot guy. My advice to every comedian I've ever met is like, find your voice.
Yeah! Sounds like drugs. It was something actiony. A very honed-in discussion amongst motivated people. Let's talk prescription pads.
Yeah. Find out who you are.
Most people will never understand what that's like to rely on yourself, not the system. This is what it's all about.
Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage.
What kind of genre is that? What would you want to like if you were describing how you feel when you're making that? Jesus, ghetto. Told you it's ghetto. What would you call it?
Works. I don't know. I get asked this question a lot, and it's the hardest thing for me to answer, honestly, because I'm kind of all over the place. Like that song in particular that we just listened to, I would say is like a drum and bass song, and like very heavily influenced by drum and bass, but my own like spin on it, I guess. If I had to really pinpoint like what I like mainly make, I'd probably say it's like electronica, like electronica bass music.
Okay.
I have like live instrument elements along with just like heavy bass sounds.
Trying to fuse the two.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Kyle, so you go by Skopik or Skopik?
Skopik.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. And where'd you come up with that?
So it was originally kaleidoscopic, and it spelled it with like KYLE, and like it was so hard to spell. It was so hard to spell, dude. And no one could find it. It was just a clusterfuck in the mouth. and the brain.
Clusterfuck in the mouth.
Yeah.
I love it.
And yeah, so I decided to shorten it to Skopik. But it originally came from just, I mean, the Beatles are probably one of my biggest influences in music. My dad would he would take me out of school starting from like kindergarten to up until like I don't remember when we stopped doing it. For a very long time he would take me out of school whenever the Beatle Fest would come around to East Rutherford. It was like a multi-day strictly like Beatle everything.
Yeah, my dad was a huge Beatles, is still a huge Beatles fan.
Yeah,
huge.
he would pull me out of school, and me and him would go up and just like listen to all the Beatles cover bands and everything. And from a very young age, the Beatles were very big part of my life. So I got that from like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the Kaleidoscope Eyes. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard that a time or two.
Yeah.
And experienced it a time or two. Yeah. So I've known you since high school, since probably before high school. I think. Where did you go to middle school?
Marlton Middle.
All right, I went to DeMacy. So we were both in Marlton, probably had similar friends.
Definitely.
But I definitely haven't. But again, you're one of those faces I remember. It's an imprint. Like, you know.
Definitely.
It's a vibe that will kind of withstand time.
Likewise.
And I just remember fun. I remember laughter, breaking balls, and then just I went ghost because of my lifestyle choices. And then you went on your path. Explain to me where you been. So let's say you got your diploma, you just rock it off into this techno heavy bass and instrumental artist, or is it a little bit of a gradual? Is it radical?
It was pretty gradual. I honestly hated all of this type of music. I would honestly talk shit on it and
Really?
be like, wow, yeah, it's just like drug music, whatever. It is like, all right, whatever, cool.
When would you talk shit on it? Like what time frame in your life you think?
Probably like right around when we graduated. I was probably like first. I don't know though, because like I feel like I had been listening to electronic music without even realizing it. Because like at one point my cousin Mike, he showed me this mix that these two dudes in the UK, Casper and Rusco. It was a Fabric Live 37 mix.
Okay.
And it absolutely blew my mind. He's like, "Yo, have you ever heard of this dubstep shit?" I was like, "No, what the fuck is that?" He's like, "It's electronic stuff, but like," he's like, "I know you're into heavy, like hot, like post-hardcore stuff, and like you like the heavy stuff, and it's like just these two dudes doing it on a computer by themselves, and like you gotta fucking listen to this." And we like went on to like, dude, he would take us on like bong rides. Sorry, mom. And
many parents have been
yeah,
disappointed
right.
on this show. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we would go on bong rides. So he took me on his bong ride, and we just played this mix front to back. And then he played Dead Mouse, this song Strobe, right after. And like we didn't really say anything the whole time. And then after, I was like, what the fuck?
So stuff like what you make is what you were listening to on L rides.
Yeah, the stuff that we were listening to was a lot a bit harder. I definitely take elements from it.
Because when I think dubstep, I don't think of what we just heard.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely not. I take the last song on that playlist is definitely more like dubstep oriented. But like I said, I take a lot of different genres and fuse it all together because I listen to so much music, dude.
Right.
My Spotify Wrapped today came out, and on my top listened to, I had Skrillex, which I really only listened to his album like when it first came out, which I thought was really funny because I must have like really listened to it when it came out for it to be on the top. And then it was Dave Matthews Band, and then
That's a jump.
yeah, right.
That's a jump.
And then this singer Jules, I forget what her last name is, that I just discovered in August, which is like this like folk acoustic
You
music.
said Jules, not Jewel, right? Not the one with the weird tooth.
Yeah, I think it might be pronounced I think it's Jules Soul. I can't remember.
Jewel.
Let me
Gotcha.
look it up because now I feel bad and I would like to promote her music. Let me see.
Is she also in the same like genre? Would you say? Or I feel like it's kind of tough to put what I just
she's
everything.
definitely not. She's more like a folk acoustic artist.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like
and
that stuff too.
I love it. Yeah,
I
so I
listen to
just have
everything,
like
man.
I have such a wide influence that it's hard to really pinpoint like and like stick to one genre when I'm writing music. Like when I would try to, I don't really go into music anymore like, okay, I'm gonna write this type of song and it's gonna sound like this, and I just kind of like let it happen now and like let it become whatever it is now.
Yeah.
And since I've been doing that, I've been able to like get in more of a creative flow and not really like I'm not dictating where it goes anymore. I'm just like letting it happen, and things are happening more now because I'm not like forcing it. It feels like.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Again, I my ADD throws people way off. So you grab your diploma, take me on your life until now.
Grab my diploma. I originally was gonna go to school down in Florida called Full Sail. I was gonna go for like light design because this is pre listening to that mixtape. I was signed up for a school down in Florida, and I had taken a few online classes to start it off. And at the time, my girlfriend at the time had told me that she was pregnant with our baby. Turned out not to be mine. And then kind of just like lost myself for a little bit. and ended up like stumbling upon this like really weird world of electronic music where like it kind of felt like, I don't know, I felt like at home for the first time. Like I never like I've I felt like I was the dude that kind of just like bounced from friend group to friend group and like had a very like wide variety of friends in high school, but I didn't like, I had my core friends and I loved them all and still love them all. Um
But you were
but
a
I
chameleon.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can I get along with
Exactly.
everybody. You got to
Exactly.
be a real piece of shit for me not to like you.
Yeah, exact same. And yeah, for the first time I really felt like, holy shit, like these are my people. This feels really amazing and like I want more of this.
Mhm.
So I originally like I grew up playing the drums. I taught myself drums from a pretty young age. Me and my cousin would just like set up boxes and like pretend band and stuff, and like eventually got a drum set and like, you know, that progression happened. So I was always into music, but it was always kind of like the progression was always dictated by like how much other people wanted it too in bands, you know? Like I would
Mhm.
play with like all of my friends and stuff, but at a certain point they all wanted to do different things, you know? So like I never thought that I could actually do music at the front end because I had no idea you could like get on a computer and just like produce your own music. You know, I'd always my thought was bands. I never like, I wasn't really huge into video games, so it didn't really make sense yet that like, okay, yeah, duh, like video game music, it's all computer music. Like it didn't really like click with me yet until my cousin sat me down. He's like, "Yo, you like, I think you need to listen to this." It's like, "All right, hell yeah!" And then it just like flipped a switch. Immediately, I like dove headfirst into it. Bought like a bought this beat machine and like made really horrible beats for a really long time, and kind of like definitely didn't take it seriously at all for a while because it was just like such a huge learning curve. I didn't know like anything about melody, anything about like music really. I knew rhythm, right? But which is a huge part. I think if you know rhythm, you can do a lot of things within music and even like dance and stuff. I feel like it all kind of translates, which I think also ties in with if you're someone who thinks they can't do something musically. I think it's just, I don't think it comes down to like not being able to. I think you like anyone can learn it. You know, I would encourage anyone if you like music to just like try to do it. Try to sing, pick up an instrument, just like do it because
Make
I
good
think you'd,
noise.
yeah, or make horrible noise
Until
because
it
then
starts to sound good.
exactly, yeah, and like it's just fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would encourage people to like try an instrument more because I feel like a lot of people out there, I talk to a lot of people who are like, I would like to. It's like, well, just do it. Then it can be horrible. Just play for yourself.
Yeah,
You
go
know?
where somebody can't hear you
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just play awful. That's fine. And then
Exactly.
eventually it won't sound as bad. And then eventually that'll sound good. And maybe it'll sound great one day. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I just dove in head first at one point, after hearing that, and ended up moving to Colorado for like 7 years probably. It's like 6, 7.
Okay.
Um,
What led you to do that?
I had gone to a Red Rock show to see like my favorite electronic artists out there for the first time. I'd never been at like anywhere more west than like, and by that point I'd probably been a little bit, but like never for music or anything. It was always like kind of family vacations and stuff. But like first like road trip by myself with friends out to Colorado to Red Rocks, and it just kind of like blew my mind and like opened my eyes. I was like, oh, there's like way more to this little corner of New Jersey
Mm-hmm.
to see. and I ended up going out there again for another show. And then one of my friends from around here moved out there, and it was weird. My girlfriend and I at the time, we were talking about moving out to like Philly or like finding a place together finally, and like, all right, where should we go? And in the middle of that conversation, our friend Taylor calls us and she's like, "Yo, we have an extra room in our apartment. When are you guys gonna move out here?" We like looked at each other like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Let me call you back." And we're like, "What the fuck does this mean?" And we're like, "I think we should definitely do this." If like that was weird how that happened. So I think it would be kind of dumb to not try it at least. We both love Colorado. We went out to Colorado together the last time that we went. So like, why not? And we called her back. We're like, "Yeah, sure." And ended up moving like 2-3 months later.
Just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
That's awesome. That's wild. And then
Yeah,
did
it
you
was
have
kinda
like
crazy.
jobs set up already, or were you kind of just still dabbling in this, and then you figured, you know what, I'm going to try and make it in somewhere I'm comfortable and I'm striving for something more.
At that point, I knew I liked it. I knew I enjoyed making music, but I didn't really know. I would tell people that like I want to do this. I'm gonna do this, but I don't know if I truly believed it at that point that I was like capable of doing it,
I
because I
get that.
still like very much doubted myself, but like knew that if I just kept doing it and like learning every day, like if you just keep learning, then like eventually like you'll trip on success. I think that's my philosophy, I guess. But
I think I don't know, the approach I'm taking. First of all, I try not to look at it as seeking the success. It's just
Yeah.
seeking freedom and comfort,
Yeah, yeah.
and solace in something I enjoy. And you know, whether it's music or a painting or somebody doing a 45-minute comedy special or whatever. I mean, it's just, this is the art that I want to do, you know. And
Definitely.
if I can make something of it, awesome. If not, this will be easily the cheapest therapy I've ever had to
Well, that's the thing
undergo.
too. You have to do it for yourself.
Have to.
You have to do it for yourself.
You have to
Otherwise,
express
like,
yourself.
yeah. I think people also catch on if you're not being completely authentic in what you're doing too, which,
Yeah,
you know,
it shows.
it shows.
Yeah, it's not.
Definitely shows.
It's robotic. It's not
Yeah,
natural.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're in Colorado.
In
You
Colorado.
get there. What's next?
Get there. Kind of ingrained myself in the music scene out there. The music scene out there, there was like definite reasons to move out to Colorado other than just like, yeah, we wanted to go. The music scene for electronic music specifically is incredible. They have like one of the best, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a venue, like a venue walkway for artists essentially, where like they have rooms from like 50 cap, and then you work your way up each capacity level. So you go from like, let's say 100 to like 150 to like a 200 cap room, and then you move to like their 300 cap rooms, and then you move up to like their
Who decides when you move up?
So once you sell out, the theory is, and it seems to be the case for like how they roll out shows these
Right.
days.
In your
is like,
experience.
yeah, in my experience is if you sell out a show at X venue, then the city and the promoters are like, okay, cool, then we can move you to the next venue. And then once you sell out that, okay, cool, until you work your way up to Red Rocks essentially.
Yeah.
And it's,
Now, what is Red Rocks? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about this world.
Red
at all.
Rocks is Red Rocks is an outdoor amphitheater. It seats like 9,000 people, and it's in the middle of these two gigantic, not two, but like a gigantic rock bed essentially. These two like gigantic rock structures. Are you able to pull things up
Fuck yeah, dude.
while we're recording? Hell yeah.
I'm trying to imagine, and I forget I have a computer next to me. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm a
Red Rocks
dickhead.
is one of the coolest places to see a show.
I'm sorry, what's it called? Red Rock what?
Red Rocks Amphitheater.
Rocks. There it is.
Yeah, Morrison, Colorado. One of the
That's
most
fucking
beautiful places
wild.
to see a
What the
concert
fuck?
in the world, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
You were there?
Yeah, I've been there many times. I've sat on the middle of the stage before on days when they don't have shows. It's like
it's a doo-doo quality photo.
I don't
That's
know
pretty
if it's
cool. This is 9,000 people
Yeah.
on rock seats too, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
That's fucking awesome. Look at that angle. Oh, look at the backdraft, dude.
Yeah, you see at a certain angle you can see like Denver City.
Like
Yeah,
that?
right there.
Oh my god, that's so dope.
It's so cool, dude.
God bless a wide angle lens, right?
Yeah. Oh, you see that one from like the back view?
Which one?
Right below the highlighted one, right next
This
to
one?
where your cursor is.
This one.
Yeah. So
That's like an overhead.
The overhead, yeah. Give you an idea of like how big it is.
That's fucking crazy. 9,000 is not a lot.
You know, it's
not a lot.
It's not that much, but it feels like a lot when you're there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're in the middle of fucking what looks like nowhere. Is this in the middle of nowhere, or is this
It's like the
adjacent
beginning? It's the beginning of like you're starting to get into the middle of nowhere. You're
That's
in like
fucking dope.
the foothills of Colorado.
I'll have to put pictures of that in there. That's fucking awesome. So okay, so you have to work your way up. How hard is it to get your first shot? Like I know in comedy, like you really just got to kind of know where the open mics are, and then you got to know who's always going to them because those guys usually know where shows are, like people who are actually doing shows.
Definitely.
And then eventually you just get in with a crowd.
Kind of the same thing. My first I played a lot of like parties and stuff going back to that confidence thing, man. Like for a while, like I didn't think I like really had it in me, dude. You know, like I made music where a lot of my friends and a lot of the people around me would be like, yeah, dude, it like has a lot of potential and and I'm like, all right, cool. So like I'm onto something, but I'm not like I know I'm not like there, you know. And before I started making really making music and like taking it seriously, like at some point when in Colorado, I was like, all right, like I keep saying that like I'm doing this, but like I know I'm not really doing it. So like one day a flip switch, I was like, all right, I'm doing it. And like I stopped telling people like when they asked me like what I did. For a while I was like out there dog walking and just like doing stuff. I'd be like, oh, I'm dog walking and like, but I make music too and stuff. I flipped it. I was like, I make music, but I
dog walk for cash.
A dog walk, yeah, a dog walk to pay the bills for right now until like, and then I just like I like changed the mindset really and just like started doing something musical every single day. And like whether it was like teaching myself new scales or like trying to write a new beat or like, you know, like teaching myself something and then applying it to a beat. And that didn't happen for a while. Probably like 2-3 years after I'd moved to Colorado, I was just kind of like out there. I kind of got like lost in going out to see music and just like caught up in that scene and like partying, you know, and not really focusing on why I like really went out there. I was like, oh well, I'm ingraining myself in the scene, but like I wasn't doing it in the way
wrong
that
part of the scene.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, one day I like flipped a switch. I was like, all right, I need to like actually do this. If I keep saying I'm gonna do it, otherwise this is all for nothing. And yeah, ended up like the relationship didn't really work out. Partly I think because of the music stuff and like I definitely needed to focus on that, and I wasn't really like worried about financial stuff at the time. So I definitely like had a part in that falling apart in regards to that. But yeah, that was unfortunate. But so yeah, after a while, just like ingrained myself more into the scene. In
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, you're
what the
good.
fuck is going on with my cameras? We'll be right back. Hopefully this works. Sorry, dude.
Oh, good, dude. And we we were playing Super Smash.
Which one?
And
64 or one of the newer ones? Because I'm 1,000
one of the
years old,
newer
apparently.
ones,
Oh.
yeah. The one for the Switch. I forget what it's called. But he beat us, and I was like, "Oh, you creamed me." And for a while now, I've been like, "Oh, you beat my buttocks, man." And
Buttocks.
and he goes, "Oh, I creamed your buttocks."
Oh shit.
I was like, "Oh fuck." I was like, "No, you didn't. No, you
Well,
didn't."
if you scroll,
And he just keeps saying it. He keeps saying it. He won't stop. I'm like, "No, what have I started?" I was like, "That's not the best thing to say. And please don't go around saying that your uncle creamed your buttocks."
yeah, that throws out a vibe.
Yeah.
My daughters have an insatiable need to say the word queef on a regular basis. I don't know if you flipped around in my
I
show.
think I saw that. Yeah.
Now literally my little one just goes queef 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 queef. Just fucking running. Queef. I'll just hear it. And I'm like, no, come on. We had to switch
Out
what
of
the
all words.
we had to switch what the fuck to what the what.
What the
Because
what?
I'm so bad, dude. Like I have
It's hard, man.
no filter.
It's hard.
I am brutally and blatantly honest, and I don't even really care. Like, she's not gonna be upset or hurt by words in the real
Right.
world. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's gonna be like, "Did you just call me a butthole? Fuck yourself, dude."
We run around calling
Yeah.
each other queefs.
Yeah, I called my dad a queef when I was 3. Like, fuck you, dude. Give me my raise, pussy.
Give me a raise, you queef.
Oh, and it's girls too. She'd be like, "I'll drag my fucking twat on this burger, bitch." Like, give me a raise. I don't know. I just imagine she'd be an asshole like I am. Okay. Back on track.
Back to it.
Back to it since the cameras are back and working. All right. So you said you're in Colorado. The relationship ended. So do you stay?
I stay, yeah. I
Okay.
think that's what really. I think the end of that relationship really got me into that mind state of like, all right, like I'm here by myself now. It was a huge shock. Honestly, I felt like I'd like kind of just gotten to.
She got the room, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it a graceful exit? It seldom is, but I
It
always hope that your past wasn't too rough.
it was, but it wasn't either. It was hard. It was
Yeah.
hard because like I don't know, for a while. So you know Ian Hartman, right?
Mhm.
So Ian passed. When Ian passed, that really affected me, and because I would call him a lot, and like, yeah, he was the one that I talked to the most from back here, and would very often have conversations with him, and like we were very much in each other's lives still. So losing Ian definitely affected me. And I think that caused me to go into a depression that I didn't even realize I was going into, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So Ian passed, and then my relationship ended like probably 4 or 5 months after that. So all that on top of each other, and then being there like in Colorado alone for the first time was like, oh fuck. Like what am I like, okay, what am I doing here? Okay, we're doing music, and like all I really had was music, like is me, my cat, and music, like every day, and So I really just dove into that, and it was like you said, it's like therapy. Like first and foremost, it was for myself. It was just like, okay, I need to like just want to learn this for myself. Like it's like, all right, I don't even care if anything comes of it at this point. Like I just lost everything that meant everything to me, you know. So like what do I have to lose at this point? Just like diving headfirst into it. And yeah, I think that was a big turning point, losing Ian. And yeah, from there just kind of that depression just kind of kept weighing down, and I never cared to look at it, you know. Was still kind of like caught up in partying in Denver at that point, and like not really hanging out with the right crowd out there. A lot of people I was hanging out with were absolutely wonderful, but a few select individuals that definitely were like dragging me down and not really lifting me up at a certain point. And sorry, where was I? I fucking my ADD too.
Yeah. Your relationship ended. You were leaving. You're with the scene a little bit heavier in the partying.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then
Okay.
There's some shitty people, but some beautiful people.
That's right. Yeah,
It's hard for
so
me to
I
keep
just
track
had
with my
I had a
ADD
lot
too.
of I just feel like I was very happy in one sense, like pursuing this thing that was like starting to click. I was like, all right, cool. Like I feel like I could take this somewhere. Like I still hadn't played any shows other than like house parties and like stuff like that. And like was finally starting to like, all right, I'm doing this. I think that was like right around the pandemic too, like when everything shut down. So I was very fortunate. The pandemic, I know it was very hard for a lot of people. But my experience was really good. I got to take time off and really just like take care of myself for the first time in a while. Like I'd never worked out, dude. I finally started like getting into like working out and like doing kettlebells every day and like riding a bike every day, like a couple miles a day, and just like really, and like the music took a jump at that point because I was just like only focusing on music too. Like I was able to take off work for a pretty long amount of time at the dog place that I was working at. There was like no hours for anyone, so at one point I was like, hey, everyone's losing hours and like we all can't survive. Lay me off. I'll collect unemployment for a little bit. You can pay everyone else and like not worry about having to fill in hours there. Everyone else gets hours. You don't have to cut people early, and like we all kind of win. And the second you need me back, just call me and I'm
I'll hop
done.
to it.
Yeah. And she was like, that actually makes a lot of
Hell
fucking
yeah.
sense. And I was like, do it. And she's like, all right.
Do it.
She's like, all right, yeah. And we did that for like probably like a month or two. And I wrote my first EP in that time. She called me and she was like, I need your help. I was like, I got you. Cool. So I was really fortunate to have that. That was like a game changer for me to be able to work that out with my boss at the time and like really take every day to just like wake up and only focus on music. It's like the only thing I knew I had to do for the day was like something on music.
Something productive.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
So yeah, from there, still depressed as fuck, dude. So depressed. And then on my 30th birthday, my cat ends up going into heart failure. I'm like, oh man. And she was only like 4. And we thought since she was so young that we could like maintain it for a little bit with meds and stuff, and it was working for a little bit, but like not even a month later, I ended up having to put her down.
Damn.
And then 2 months later, my cousin Mikey passed away as well, who we talked about showing me all the music and stuff. And yeah, all three of them just piled on, and for a while I was out there just like lost again, so depressed. Still working on the music thing though. I'm like, there's like light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, but like I'm like so broken, whatever. And I ended up getting in a relationship with a girl out here who lives up in like Asbury Park area. And so I was like traveling back and forth this way. Before that, so in the meantime, like after I'd released my EP, the Black Box, which is like they have one of the best sound systems in Denver. It's one of the coolest clubs in the world that I've been to personally. And they're like one of the biggest like dubstep venues in Denver. Very highly regarded venue. And they do these they're called Electronic Tuesdays, and they're basically like DJ battles, and whoever wins the battles gets to like do like opening slots and like work their way up into like
Awesome.
bigger shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen the battles on TikTok. Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah. And so this guy Joe, Thought Process, shout out Thought Process. I love that dude. He makes amazing music, and he is a lovely person as well. And I credit him a lot to even like where I'm at right now too, because at that point he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, do you want to do the battles?" I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And at that point, I was so like not confident in my music that I only played like I think I had probably like 12 or 13 songs of mine that I could have played at that point, and I played a DJ set, and I only played like 2 or 3 of my own songs. And pretty full circle moment happened this last September. I ended up opening for him in my first out of state gig in Washington DC.
Wow.
And played an all original hour and 15-minute set.
How many people?
I believe I don't know what the cap was. I think it's like a 200, 300 cap room, and it wasn't too full at my slot, but
Still a lot of fucking people.
yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of people there, and it was a very, very cool experience.
100 people's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't even know the most people I've ever performed for, but I don't think it was anywhere close to 200.
Yeah, I think the most that I've performed for is like 6. No, it's probably only been like 2, like 3, probably like 350 at the like cap that it was at when like it filled up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So the Electronic Tuesday battle that Joe asked me to play was it was supposed to be a seated like pandemic thing. It was like, all right, like mass tables, like we'll serve things to like kind of get us through the pandemic, like do shows a little differently. And it happened to be the night that Denver lifted all restrictions on the pandemic, and it sold out.
Wow.
And it was amazing. It was such a cool experience. One of the coolest things. I feel very spoiled that so my first 2 shows were actually at the Black Box, and I feel so spoiled having played that venue that night. That was one of the coolest experiences.
In DC?
That one is in Denver.
Oh, in Denver.
That one's in Denver, yeah. Yeah, so I played that show, and like after playing that show, I didn't even know if I'd like like being on stage. I'd never like I'm so shy. I'm so like I'm
Really?
very yeah, it's hard to it's hard for me to open up.
Okay,
It's hard for me to open up.
I understand that.
Um
I didn't find it hard to become friends with you. Although I find myself, my ADD just barges in on everybody else's life, and usually if I just will myself upon people, sometimes I have a tendency to
I
do that.
tend to get along with people who do that because
Okay.
I am so like I'm not I've been doing better. I've been in therapy since like February finally like so yeah, all that to like I'll wrap it up basically really quickly. I ended up like getting picked up by a music label out here. My homie Ryan hit me up. He was like, "Yeah, we see that you're like really pushing the music now. Like we would love for you to be on the like artist roster, and um we'll represent you and like do show bookings and stuff like that." And like so I was being in the relationship and like kind of like moving back and forth, and then that happening too, and my mental health just like going so awry. I was like, I need to come back and just like regroup for a little bit and really focus on myself and not really worry about anything else other than that and music. Like focus on myself first, even before the music, really. Um I ended up going into like a involuntary hospital stay for a little bit. Much needed for sure. I don't know where like I don't know what the other side of that would have looked like. Things were getting pretty bad and pretty dark.
I relate to that too.
Yeah. So yeah, been in therapy since like February and the end of February, and things have been a lot better. Um I didn't realize like how much grief can just like really affect things too, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like not taking care of it and addressing it and just pushing it to the side, being like, yeah, I'm fine. It's whatever. Like, yeah, I'm sad some days, but like, it's like comes in waves, you know. But like, even on the down waves, it's still there.
Yeah, it's like everything we're subjected to in a negative fashion. Just we're not the same afterward. We never are. I mean,
No.
it could be a long stretch of something crazy. It could be something instant. It's just no matter what it is, you become conditioned to your body. Like your body and your brain just want to survive, and that's it.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, your feelings are just a combination of your body and your brain reacting to everything. And your feelings want to survive too.
Yeah.
That's just how I've kind of always like they're there to kind of get you to feel the way is best to fit to survive this situation. And yeah, I've been through quite a few things that you just like you jump me into like an angry state
Mhm.
or like I start really thinking badly about myself, and then like you acquire tools over time. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
it's wild. It's wild, man.
It is wild. Yeah. Now, like having tools too is wild. It's like and they're so simple too, like breathing. Dude, I wear
Yeah.
this like breathing tool around my neck just to be like, "Hey, do you breathe more?" And
Yeah.
like even a simple thing is breathing and like being intentional with your breath can just like completely reset everything.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty soon I'll
crazy.
have breathe tattooed on my forearm for Simmons. A lot of us
Yeah.
did that initially. I honestly, again, I ghosted, not too long after he went away, passed
Yeah.
away. And so and he was
That was one that
paramount.
hit a lot of us at
Yeah.
Cherokee.
I mean, I grew up with him.
Yeah,
We
man.
were on the football team together, best friends growing up. He came up. I remember him being 15, stealing his dad's car, calling me and Kevin to come pick him up. He's like, "Yo, I'm out front of Andy's house, man.
Oh
Come
my
in."
God.
And
He was a trip, dude.
dude,
He was a trip.
wildest, coolest dude, didn't give a fuck who you were. Again,
One
as
of the
long
most
as you
caring
weren't,
people I've ever
as
met.
long as you weren't a piece of shit,
Yeah.
and as long as you didn't fuck with his friends.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say this: one of the few people that have ever jumped into a fight that wasn't going my way it was always John.
Yeah.
John probably jumped into every fight I was losing, every fight I was significantly losing. He's jumped in. Yeah. And I've lost plenty of fights. I got into so many, it's retarded. It's like for a little guy who talks a ton of shit, I got my ass beat a lot. It makes a lot of sense. But
we all gotta get our ass beat.
Yeah, dude. I feel like this world's made of paper tigers because most people have not been just rocked. Not made to see stars. I bet you this timing's off too. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting. I might just do audio on this one.
My hat
Fuck
looks goofy as hell.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
It's so funny.
You're good, dude. Plus, this camera is all weird. I'm telling you, man. I got to get this gear figured out because I'm way too fucking dumb to offset how bad this shit is. It needs to be better than me. the gear needs to be better than me. All right, so all right. So you said
help editing audio and stuff. I can help you do
actually, dude, my believe it or not, my stepdaughter turned me on to CapCut, and that has been saving my ass.
Good shit.
And I figured if an 11-year-old girl can edit some decent shit on there, a 32-year-old grown-ass man should figure it out. And it's getting better. It's getting better and easier. It'd be easier if I had people doing different jobs and I wasn't doing all of it, because this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to catch up with old friends. I want to find out, literally, like, now I'm up to date, right? And you said it pretty much ends off with you selling out, like the when they lift COVID, and that wasn't too long ago, right? How long ago did they lift all the stuff?
That wasn't too long ago. No, that was probably like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
So in that meantime, I moved back here. I've played quite a few shows now for the Aspire Hire and the Rust Cruise. Aspire Hire is the label that I'm a part of.
Awesome.
And I absolutely love being with. I love Ryan. Ryan's amazing. Shout out Ryan, love you. I've played a few shows with them that are amazing. I've played with like some of my idols out here, which blows my mind, dude. Like this last so I had 3 shows in September. The show in DC, and then we had a label collective show in Philly, and then we had another Philly show that was it's the official after parties for this guy Pretty Lights, who I saw at Red Rocks for the first time.
Okay.
So super full circle moment there to be able to. So he's at a point now where he's playing like 5-hour sets and like no one's opening for him. So his way of like, or their team's way of like putting people on in the scene is these official after parties. So to be a part of something even affiliated officially with Pretty Lights at all was like a complete dream come true and full circle moment for me that just like blew my mind. Like, all right, yeah, I really can do it. Yeah, it's happening.
and you're in it.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
It was really cool. So yeah.
So I'm sorry. What's the label you're with right now?
Aspire Hire.
Aspire Hire.
Yes.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Yeah, they're amazing. They throw Submersion Festival out in the Pinelands every year down in Hamilton, New Jersey, and they release music every week. Tune Tuesdays on SoundCloud. They release a bunch of up and comer and like bigger artists too every week. EPs, albums, everything. They're amazing. I love them. Yeah.
Wow, man. You have to check all that out. You have to send me the links to all this shit.
Yeah, definitely will.
I am not gonna remember, I promise.
Definitely. Yeah.
I would say there's a lot of similarities between the process in music production and DJing as there is to comedy. You know, like you have to
That's
go
so
through
sad.
your paces. You have to, get your bones and prove to people you can do it and bring a crowd.
Right.
You know, a lot of, you said like go from 50 to 200 to 900 to 1,000 people. It's pretty much the same general progression.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and it's efficient. Like if you get with the right crowd, if you get with the right group, it's from what you're telling me, a lot of that scene in itself is like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comedy scene
Definitely.
is very different in a sense where like you have to kind of find the group to get with, and then find the open mics, get yourself out there, and be social. Like it's very tough to get yourself exposed unless you do something like this, but through stand up.
Comedy seems very hard to break into, and it seems like it takes like a while, you know what I mean? I feel like a headlining comic would probably take a little bit longer than it would for like a music, but just because you need so many more reps on it too, because comedy, I think you need that audience, right?
Hmm.
For there to be that like connect and be like, because you probably like, I don't know how your writing process is, but you probably tell a joke,
Varies.
right? And then if it does amazing, then you're like, all right, cool, it works. And if it doesn't
Hmm.
do amazing, you're like, all right, what didn't do good on that? And you like regroup,
Yeah.
and then at the next one figure it out,
Yeah.
right? So
Similar to that. Yeah.
I feel like it's super similar, but I feel like comedy is harder, honestly. I give you guys a lot of respect that do it, because like you really gotta love it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
100% I do.
Yeah.
I love nothing more than everybody in the room thinking I'm the funniest person there.
Yeah.
It's it's the attention I crave. It's the attention I crave. No, I mean in all reality, I really enjoy laughing. I laugh with family members early on, to kind of oversee certain things, and like my dad was a bit of a yeller. You know what I mean? I didn't come from an abusive household or anything like that. That's not what I'm getting at. Like he was just a bit of a yeller. So as a little kid, I always like would see him as just always angry and mad. But initially, like if you were to watch him watch Richard Pryor, or if you'd watch him watch George Carlin, and
Right.
and he's got a very deep voice like I do, but way deeper, like and even deeper so is my uncle. And if you get all three of us on a fucking conference call, it just sounds like your fucking eardrums are gonna vibrate to death. But they're very like booming voices, very diaphragm, and if you get them to laugh, it's a very rewarding thing.
Right.
So, and I don't remember the first time I'd ever made a family member or my father laugh. But when I did, I was like, that's what I
That's
want.
it.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
And then it became, oh, everybody finds something different funny. And then, okay, so you kind of got to get to know them a little bit in order to find out. And then it just became, how quick can I figure you out?
Yeah.
How quick can I find or just get a general thing that's going to make everybody laugh? And then you kind of figure out, all right, if this person laughed a little bit harder, this is kind of where they twist. You know what I mean? It's a lot of improvisation on the spot, but yeah, my writing process is mostly just like I zone out, listening to music on my ride home or ride to work, and I'll think of something, and I have to turn the music down and start bidding it by myself in my truck. Like if you're on 295 in the morning, between exits 34 and 10, going southbound, and you see me fucking doing this in a Sierra, I'm sorry, but I got to get it out.
Gotta get it
And
out.
then if I like it, I write it down, or I'll put it in my notes or something like that. And then I can't put everything that I write down out there yet. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'll try. It depends on where I'm at. If it's an open mic and it does not fucking matter, and I could bomb, I could care less. I'll just put out the random shit that I thought was funny, and then if it works, I'll build to it, or I'll put it into a joke that I already know works. But it's like a segue. You know what I mean? It's a lot of
Yeah.
different stuff. It's like you were saying, combining certain instruments and finding out what your sound is. And I'm sure as you were going through your trials and tribulations, your music changed over time. And
Changed
what
dramatically.
I find funny and what I want to joke about changes over time. What people find funny, and right now, like I'm a firm believer that the comedy world is under attack with how sensitive everybody has been. Like we thought people were sensitive when we were younger, but people are straight
Oh
up
my lord.
fucking like they need to just chill out.
There's no nuance anymore in any. It seems to be very black and white
Yeah.
thinking, and it's like read between the lines, man. Like especially at a comedy show or a comedy act.
Well, that's
like,
why open mics are
we're
dangerous.
all here.
That's why open mics are super dangerous.
We're all here to laugh, right?
Yeah, if you go to a bar and grill that has this specific paid show night, 9 times out of 10, everybody there came to have a good time.
Right.
You get these pop-up fucking impromptu Pizza Forno or Pizza Uno or and they do that every night now, so I'm sure that's a crowd that expects it.
Yeah.
But there's just like mom and pop shops, just little things that pop up, stuff to get your feet wet and get the
which is
get the cobwebs out. And eventually it turns into something else, but it's tough to get broken in. You're right, it is tough to kind of get in.
Do you embrace the bomb?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
You have to.
Yeah, because I'm in sales, so I know when a customer is not going well. I see this from a mile away. I walked right into it. Dude, as an adult, my entire mature-ish. Sorry, let me rephrase that. My wife's probably going to listen to this. My my whole mature adult life has been in sales. So over time, you just learn to read people. And if it's a group of people, you find out what is swaying who. But yeah, sometimes you'll just shit the absolute bed, and you just keep moving. If the joke you thought was going to kill that night didn't work, just keep moving. Like, just keep going. It's like when a customer says, "No, I'm not buying today." Yeah, great. Well, if that's the case, let me just show you these ones over here. These ones will be, it's move on. At the end of the day, I came here to make you laugh. Just like when you go into a car dealership or a camper dealership, you came here to either buy something, and I'm here to sell you something.
Right.
And I always tell people when they seem leery of my sales process, because I am me. You're buying from me, and you're going to know what it's like to know me through that process. At least I try as best I can. I'm obviously a professional at some point. Like I can't hit old couples with the same shit I would hit you and your girlfriend with. But over time, what was I saying, dude? I lost it. I lost it. Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, when I see them being leery of me, and I see them starting to you almost get people that go, "Don't sell me anything." Like, sorry, don't be offended, but they could say, "Hey, listen, I don't have money down today. I don't have, I'm working on this, that, and the other thing." And I say, "Hey, listen, that's all well and good. Don't be offended. I'm still going to try and sell you something. I'm still going to try and get creative and find a way to make it work for you today. If not, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Honestly, I've been in sales long enough that I don't even really have feelings left."
Right.
So, and that usually, that's usually the reaction. They usually give it a little bit laugh, and then it takes the temperature down. And now I can be me, and now they can enjoy that. Because listen, if you buy something, great. If not, hey, we'll try again later.
Right.
It's not that big a deal. Some dealerships make it harder than others. You know what I mean? I'm happy that I went through what I went through, both career-wise, both trial and tribulations prior to cars and all that. Because it's made me into a better comedian. It's made me into a better, show host. And, I'm going to be hosting in Robert's Bar and Grill on the 29th of December next month.
Where's that at?
Robert, it's in Berlin. It's about 20 minutes from here, across right, like 2 seconds past the Berlin Mart.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool hall. That's AC Jokes. That's the guys I've been running with for a little bit now. They're all pretty good.
Do you know Cody Wright?
That sounds really familiar. I'm terrible with names, dude.
He graduated a year after us. He does a lot of comedy stuff. He does stuff up at like the Flying W.
I think,
and then
I really got to start seeing people's faces, dude. There have been people from high school that I really enjoy them, and I can't fucking remember their name, dude, for the life of me. It's like more information has come in and my brain has pushed it out. And that's usually the first thing. And that's a nightmare with customers, I might add.
Yeah. I'm so bad with names, dude. I'm so bad with names. I feel so bad. Sometimes I'll meet someone 4 times and be like, who was that again? And be like, you've met that, Kyle,
I do.
Come on.
I can really play it off. I can play it off pretty well.
Oh, I'm so bad at playing. I'm so bad.
I'll try and dig into it.
I'm getting better though. I'm getting better. It's crazy what working on yourself will do. Since,
I'll just be
everyone
flat out
around you.
honest. Listen, I realize in my heart of hearts I should know exactly what your name is,
Exactly,
but I like
yeah.
you as your face in person, but I couldn't remember your fucking name if it saved my life right now. Oh man. But yeah, man, I dig it. I dig what you're doing. I want to listen to a couple more. You said there was one like dubstep that I would kind of recognize a bit. I wonder if they'll be able to hear this shit. If not, I'll just play it separately. You might have to send me a couple of downloads. Which one should I
more
play?
Dubsteppy. Actually, do Hold Me. That one's Hold Me. I recorded my dad on guitar actually, and this one has like kind of a dubsteppy influence at the end of it.
Okay.
This one's a cool track.
Let's get it.
When my brother came into town for a little bit, and he's been getting into guitar lately this past year.
Has he just started learning?
Yeah, he just started learning, and he's into like country music and stuff.
He should hit up
complete opposite of this.
He should hit up Bebo.
Sick,
John Simmons' brother, Christian.
True.
He should have Chris. He started his own school for music.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been teaching school since he's been teaching music since as long as I can remember.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's down in Jacksonville right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be problematic.
A little bit, but
Bebo would do a Skype, I'm sure.
I'm sure he would.
General gist.
Sure
Hell, I built this whole fucking computer via FaceTime. So
fuck yeah.
So I'm sure Chris can do wonders.
Doable. It's definitely doable.
All right, let's play this. All right, I'm sorry. You were saying he's getting into guitar.
Yeah, he's getting into guitar, and he was just he works for where does he work now? For the Department of Defense, and he was doing work up here at Lockheed Martin, and I was like, "Yo, let's like record some guitar." So him and my brother were down in the basement for like 2 days with me, and we recorded this song and another song on this list too.
Fucking dumb.
Ads, nice,
solid. Why ads? That's the saddest thing, man. Nobody wants fucking cable anymore. Nobody wants fucking cable anymore because it's just. And then everybody switches over to internet streaming, and it is the same fucking thing. Only now it's
bundle it.
Now they're trying to bundle it.
I've been saying this for years, dude. I've been saying that exactly.
And then they're gonna bring back view in retro mode, which is pretty much cable.
Yep.
Fucking idiots. Oh, this is gonna remind me of a fucking shroom / hippie flip, isn't it? Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, this one's a cool song.
Please do not fall asleep if you guys are listening to this on your car ride in. I'm sure it'll get a little bit more intense, but it's got some like 007 vibes in it. I like that.
Yeah, my dad did a good job on the guitar for this one. Yeah, the back end of this has like a cool little dubstep part in it. Like I said, it's so hard to put a genre on it for me because I'm like I have this like down tempo like vibey thing, and then like it can have like abrasive stuff. It's like a mix between like beautiful and abrasive.
I dig it. I fucking dig it, dude.
Thanks.
I've never been too into like the the dubstep or the house music or anything like that. But I will say this shit is dope.
Thank you.
If it sounds like the cutscene music to one of the best video games like you'll ever play.
I love that.
I can't place the game, but it sounds fucking awesome.
Thank you.
I feel like it should be in Cyberpunk or something, like a transition scene.
That'd be cool.
Him and fucking Keanu or figuring shit out. I don't know if you ever played it.
Cyberpunk. No,
Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever the fuck
I
it's
haven't
called.
played Cyberpunk. I've been really into so I got into therapy and I started like being like, all right, I need to like do stuff other than just music right now, because like I was hiking a bunch in Colorado and like being outside and like whatever and being active that way, and like that was fun. But since being back home, it's been harder to like get that dopamine level again. So I've been like doing the trails in Kings Grant and stuff and walking, but I got really into like video games again. Like I only played like Nintendo 64 and like I think like PS2 was when I like stopped actually playing video games, but I was like pretty into video games as a younger kid,
Yeah.
like on those ones. I was like, maybe I could just like start playing video games again. I've been into Overwatch a lot. I got
Sweet.
myself a Switch. I was like, I can take it on planes and stuff, and
I gamed
I love traveling
forever.
and stuff too.
I gamed forever, and I still do kinda. I just really like. I'm trying to put my focus in other things. Like I have a rule. Like I try and futz around with the podcast at least an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, either on my phone, editing something, or trying to network with someone, or doing something on the computer. You know, I think I played 7 hours this year in total, video game wise.
That's good.
And it went from like a thousands of hours of just time
Right.
gone. I mean, not gone and wasted, but just gone.
Just gone.
You know what I mean? And not much to show for it. I mean, I've built some really cool relationships. Like I have 2 buddies in Arkansas whom I have never fucking met in my entire life. Known them like 10 years. And like I'm probably gonna be invited to these guys' fucking wedding and meet them for the first time at some point, hopefully.
That's what's been cool about this community too, is there's a bunch of producers all doing this around the country too. So we all kind of just like end up networking with each other, just like, hey, I love this song, and like we're all like bouncing ideas off of each other, and like being able to meet people in real life, like after years of talking to them online, is amazing. Like I just met my buddy Jake Maxfield at Submersion actually.
Nice.
After a couple of years of talking, it was like, oh my god.
And this is your company as well, or you're affiliated with them?
I'm affiliated with the label Aspire Higher that throws Submersion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. What else, bud? What are you working on right now? This is what you're working on as far as music? Okay.
Yeah, working on the album, and then I'm hoping to have like all the musical ideas and everything done, and like all the song ideas done by the end of December, and then go into like the mixing and mastering stage, which hopefully won't take too long. I think I've done a pretty decent job at mixing as I've gone right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be too long.
And you're in it solely for the art, creating of the art right now. You're not making it for anyone specifically. You're not making beats for someone, Yeah, you're in it for the art. You're putting your feelings into the computer.
Yeah,
much.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's what's up, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome. When do you think the album is going to be fully released?
Probably like spring. I would say like late spring, early summer is like a pretty solid expected date. I want to get it out sooner than later. Some of these songs I've been working on for like years, and then others have been like happened in a day, like last week. So there's a big like chunk of my life that these like songs are definitely like giving a glimpse of like of what's going on and
Mhm.
like where my soul was at that point in
Wow.
the past like 3 years, you know. But yeah, I'm really excited to like work on the visual aspect of it too. I I had a designer, Ben Berry. He's amazing. If anyone's looking for design work, I highly recommend Ben. He's incredible. But he redid all of my like logos and branding and everything this year, earlier in the year. And I want to work with him and have like I want to do like videos and different stuff visually to tie in with the release of the album to make it a little different. I don't know if it's going to be like a like one continuous like hour stream of like the album start to finish and do like kind of like a
Tool thing where
like a
you're like doing
video.
colors and
Yeah.
mixtures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't know if I want to go like visualizer style or like a storyline too. I was thinking of like just like because I mean at the end of the day they're all the songs are telling a story, like, so I was thinking maybe like create a story around it too, like loosely off of like where I was at in that moment, but then I also kind of like want to leave it up to the listener to be like, you know, so I think
Mhm.
that's what's cool about music too, is like it means whatever you want it to mean, and like it can change, like the meaning can change from like the second, like in a second, you know, like you could listen to one song like 1 minute and then like something could happen and then you put it on immediately after and it means a completely different thing the next second, you know.
Hell
So
yeah,
like
dude.
I don't know if I want to dictate like someone else's feelings in that, but I think it would be cool to
Mhm.
like loosely like tell the story of what is happening, you know.
It's like you got to find a perfect balance of expressing yourself and trying to get them to understand you, but at the same time
Exactly.
find their own meaning in it.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm excited to tackle with like the visual aspect of it, and like start doing some like merch stuff and like really start pushing this year.
And you're full in, man. You're not
Yeah.
stopping. This is what you want. This is
Yeah.
what you
I
want to
mean,
do.
even if no one listens to it, or for like I don't like stop doing shows
Yeah.
or whatever, like yeah, I'll still do it, you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, I'm full in. There's no plan B. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no
Now,
plan B.
if you could give one word of advice before we end it off, because this is going on an hour and 15.
Hell yeah.
I gotta start helping my wife with the kids before she kicks me in the
Cool.
forehead repeatedly because she's taller than me. If you can give one sliver of advice to anyone out there thinking of making it no plan B, you know what I mean? Like taking that extra step. Like, is it something that you were ever thought you'd be ready for? Or did you just kind of have to seize the moment when you saw it? And what if you can give him any advice on how to seize that moment, what would it be?
I would study the people who are doing what you want to do, or just success, like the term successful, like
Mhm.
successful
Yeah.
people in their line of work, like anyone. Study successful people and like emulate what they're doing to get what they want, you know? And I think that comes down to essentially is just like learning everything you can about whatever you want to get into and just not stopping until you die.
Fuck yeah.
You know,
Fuck yeah.
that's, yeah, that would be my advice. Just get into it and just don't stop until you die. To do whatever you have to do, like around it until like you can, so like if you can't support yourself on it, do what you need to do to support yourself, but like,
But do what you love.
yeah, do what you love, you know, chase your passion, and like at the end of the day, you'll probably be a little bit happier than like not.
Yeah.
So I'd say just don't stop. Keep
Well,
doing it.
I look at it as like when I was in car sales, a lot of the managers would harp on you, but like, you know, don't you want to make that deal? Don't you want to do this and the other thing? Like when it was like 8:50 at night and we closed at 9, I'd already been there since 9 o'clock that morning or in the morning. God, I can't fucking talk. Maybe it's time to go to bed. I've been there since 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to leave in 10 minutes and people show up and I'm, you know, I don't want to take the customer because I want to go home. I want to be with my family. And they're always go, come on, man, you got one more in you. You got all that. It's a balance, you know. At the same time, I've been here 12 fucking hours. Of course I want to make money, but at the same time, you know, I'm not going to be on my fucking deathbed going, God damn it, I wish I made that Chevy Spark deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wish I'd have sold him. You know, I would be like, I wish I'd have tucked my daughter in more.
Exactly.
You know, I wish I'd have kissed my wife a few more times. You know what I mean? So do what you love. And don't stop until you fucking die, man.
Yeah.
You know, no regrets. Well, fucking thanks, dude. I really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate you coming.
I appreciate
and
you.
after over
Thank
a
you.
fucking decade,
Yeah,
you know,
really.
still like it took 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's Kyle. And I'm gonna have to send you everybody you just fucking shouted out and you referenced and whoever you want me to link, just send me a huge list of it. And when I post the video, I'll throw everybody you want thrown in there.
Oh, yeah.
Not a problem. Links to the
Appreciate
websites and all that stuff, dude. Appreciate it. This has been Dust Off the Mic. Everybody, thank you. Later. Peace.